Welcome back, everybody, to the Boomer Backfield. My name is Colby, and today we have a special episode regarding the Jaden O'Neal and Bo Bentley situation with OU. We have some information that has not been told to anybody else, for one, and two, has not been publicly released. We've intentionally delayed our podcast to make sure that we give it to you as truthful as possible. That way you have the right information. Most importantly, that we tell it in a way that is protective of the people who gave it to us, and also that we just tell it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to spin a story or anything. I mean, we've never done that, so it's not our game to play, really. We just want to say how we heard it.
Yeah.
This is how we heard it, and I mean, obviously here at the end we'll give our takes on it, give our opinions on it, but the story we're telling is not a story. It's just what we've heard. It's literally just what we've heard.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of like Colby mentioned, like a lot of fans aren't going to like this. Because who would trust these three guys sitting here with insider information? But, I mean, take it. If I were you, I would listen. That's just me.
Yeah. We can promise you our source is very close to Mr. O'Neal, and that everything we're presenting to you is completely factual. Yeah. And we're not giving you a paywall. So
we kind of stumbled upon a little gem here. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
It kind
really
of came to us.
Yes, it fell
to our laps.
Fell to our laps. With that being said, though, I'm just going to walk us through the story of everything that we've been told, and then we will talk about it after that.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, we'll start with last summer. Last summer, Jaden O'Neal was invited to play for Dak Prescott's 7-on-7 team, stepping in to replace who? Bo Bentley.
Yeah.
That weekend, Jaden played really well, lit up the field, while Bo was relegated to backup the entire weekend. Soon after that, Jaden headed to Texas for the Elite 11 event, which is basically where the top quarterbacks in the country go to compete with each other. Bo Bentley opted for Florida, basically avoiding the best competition because there's less competition in Florida because all the good guys are at the Elite 11. Fast forward to November 23rd during the Alabama game. Jaden sat down with BV and the gang and pretty much told them that he was moving to Mustang, which is huge, moving from California to Mustang. At that point in time, he was already committed to OU. So if this doesn't show that he's all in, I really don't know what does. A couple weeks later, on December 2nd, Ben Arbuckle was hired as part of the coaching staff, a move that would soon, kind of change things.
Yeah.
With Jaden. So roughly a month later, keep this in mind, Ben Arbuckle's first contact to Jaden O'Neal, 1 month after he's been hired. And during that conversation, the very first conversation he ever had with Jaden O'Neal, he mentioned that they would be pursuing 2 quarterbacks in the 2026 class. So Ben Arbuckle did not reach out to Jaden O'Neal until at least 4 weeks after he was hired. And the first convo he has is saying, we're going to go with it. We're not going with a different guy, but we are looking for somebody else. So March rolls around. This is just a few weeks ago, a Future Freaks event on March 7th, 8th, and 9th. Bo Bentley received an invitation. Jaden O'Neal did not. So Bo Bentley is not committed to OU. Jaden O'Neal is committed to OU, moved from California to Oklahoma.
I think a key thing to add there is that a lot of people thought that he was invited but didn't show.
Yeah.
But from our source close to Jaden O'Neal, he wasn't invited.
Wasn't at all invited.
Insane.
Yeah, just wasn't
Which
invited.
is crazy. You have a 4-star quarterback, not invited.
Yeah.
He's your commit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come on that later. But then, that happens, which is insane. So last week, Jaden and Brandon Drum, who is, I believe, an OU Rivals
insider media guy.
People who are in media know Brandon Drum. Brandon Drum's son is a quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I think he's like some kid. He's pretty good. So anyways, Jaden and his son go down to Texas to train with Patrick Mahomes, quarterback coach, on a Saturday. So while they were heading down there, Ben Arbuckle and Brandon Drum are pretty close. I guess they communicate pretty often because that's how Drum keeps in the loop with all the stuff. So Arbuckle texted Brandon Drum asking for video footage of Jaden to evaluate while they're at the coaching clinic. But what's strange was a couple of days later, Arbuckle directly texted Jaden, inviting him to practice that Saturday, knowing that he would be in Texas training, literally asking Brandon Drum 2 days before for video footage from the practice, framing it as if we're inviting him and he's not coming because he has other plans, even though he already knew that he was gone. So that pattern ended up continuing. Jaden had not been invited to a single spring practice up until that point. And it wasn't until the coaches learned that he'd be visiting Florida State that an invitation finally came. So this week, BV texted in this group chat with a bunch of OU coaches, Jaden, and just a few other people, texted that just sent them the practice schedule, knowing that Jaden would be at Florida State this weekend. So then Jaden replied, "What time's practice?" So Jaden's asking this to see, will Ben Arbuckle talk to me? Like, will he just simply speak? Arbuckle did not respond, but another coach eventually did, which basically meant the message was pretty clear that Jaden only seemed to get attention when the staff knew he would be unavailable, either training or visiting Florida State. Meanwhile, Bo Bentley's attention just seemed to keep growing. I mean, this week he dropped an official visit graphic, and John Mateer, a quarterback from Little Elm High School, just 20 minutes away from Salina, Texas, commented on the post and followed me on social media. Notably, though, Mateer did not follow Jaden. So Ben Arbuckle is also coming from Texas, so you kind of seem to have a pretty clear preference here of what's really going on. And in fact, only one original quarterback has remained on the roster. Every other quarterback is someone else that Ben Arbuckle has brought in. And the only quarterback here from the last regime, Mr. Michael Hawkins Jr.
Yep.
Despite the apparent favoritism, not everyone was on the same page. So BV, Bates, and Emmett Jones actually keep in regular contact with Jaden, texting him, trying to keep him at OU, showing him that they want him here. But Arbuckle seems to be kind of telling a different story. And it honestly seems like Ben Arbuckle is waiting for Bo Bentley to make a decision before addressing Jaden's situation head on, which doesn't really make sense. The sense is that Arbuckle pretty much has his guys and Jaden wasn't one of them. And the hypothetical basically is like if Ben Arbuckle succeeds, I mean, hypothetically, and this has already happened, but if he succeeds at OU and then decides to go somewhere else, he gets an offer to Ohio State, Bama, or something like that, and he goes, he will most likely take his quarterback with him. You just saw that this year with him leaving Washington State to come to OU and brought John Mateer. And from a source within OU football has basically said that it seems like Arbuckle likes his guys. That's why there's only one quarterback left from the old regime. So everything you just heard is pretty much word for word verbatim what we have heard from our source. That is everything broken down.
Yeah. I just want to highlight real quick that one key point you made. This was really important when we heard it, was John Mateer lives 20 minutes is from 20 minutes where from Bo Bentley is from. Yeah. And we were told their families are like close.
Yeah. We were told Arbuckle's
like these are family friends.
Bo Bentley's family are close.
So just putting that out there for personal ties reasons. But yeah, I mean, that's what we heard. That's pretty much what we heard as we heard it.
Yeah.
So y'all want to dive into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go back to the top.
Yeah.
You get invited to go play 7-on-7, and you go and replace Bo Bentley. That's it. I already knew. I would have already knew that Bo Bentley can't be that good if Jaden O'Neal went and just took a spot.
Yeah.
But I still want him. I still want him because he's my guy. He can't even. It's 7-on-7.
Yeah.
If you can't to call somebody else,
yeah,
you got to be a different type of bad to have someone that's like in travel ball where they used to fly these kids in from Cuba just to do this one thing. Like, I know Jaden and them probably weren't paying to get down there. Everybody, y'all want me down there? Go ahead and shell out that cash.
Yeah.
Ben Arbuckle, do you see that? Yeah. Is that your guy? He can't even beat out the guy that you already have committed? That, I don't know, floors me.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is too is like you don't even have to be bad to get replaced. Somebody just has to be really good. Yeah. Like if you're gonna fly out somebody to go play for your 7-on-7 team to replace your quarterback, that says a lot of things about how good of an athlete you are and how good of a quarterback you are. So, not that, and that's the thing. Bo Bentley is not a bad quarterback. There's a reason he's rated the way he is. There's a reason he's getting offers from Georgia, from LSU, from us, and probably numerous other schools. Bo Bentley's not a bad quarterback. What I'm saying is, though, is that if you're the OC at OU, your job is not to get your guy. Your job is to get the best guy for OU football. And that's the difference here, is that it seems like Ben Arbuckle was trying to get his guy in Bo Bentley, whether that's family ties, whether that's Texas ties. I don't know what is. Maybe it's just something he sees in Bo Bentley. I don't know. But from what we've been told and from what everybody can see is that Jaden O'Neal is legit. And if Jaden's going to beat out Bo Bentley, then it seems like if you're picking Bo Bentley over Jaden O'Neal, you're really just doing something because you want to do it and not what's best for the program. Now, maybe I don't know. I'm 23 years old. I'm not a college football recruiter. I don't know what scouting looks like. I don't know all of those things. But I do know that if you beat out another quarterback and you get invited and flown out to go play for his team and he sits the bench while you play, I mean, I don't think it takes much more. It's just common sense to me.
To me, it's like, I mean, take it back to just the bare bones basics. You have a quarterback committed. He's moved halfway across the country for you.
Yeah.
And he's beat this other guy in direct competition.
Yeah.
Why would you pivot? Why would you pivot to somebody that's worse, right? Unless there was personal ties, politics, money, or, some people are going to say maybe Ben Arbuckle has his style.
What style doesn't involve 6'3", 215?
Yeah,
and can probably run you over if needed.
Like I don't maybe, but you can't tell me, okay, this guy's gotten beaten direct competition.
Yeah,
the size, the frame, everything is better, and he's already committed, right? It's not like you have two guys in the race. No, one's committed and one's visiting other schools, right? Yeah. So to me, I just think like that directly should tell people like there's personal ties in this. Like this is not a football thing. It's no longer football. Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like it's not just football sometimes. And in this case, it's not just football. Yeah. Because if it was just football, we would take Jaden O'Neal and we'd be doing whatever we can to get him to sign early, right? So sign on December. Yeah. But it's not just football. And to me, you already see, you don't even have to know the rest of the story to know like, oh, there's a guy that's beating out another guy in direct competition and he's committed, but they're going for somebody else. Boom. Politics right there.
Yeah.
That screams politics and ties to me, personal ties to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it just gets worse, right? So we got
the 7-on-7.
The 7-on-7
I mean, my next thing is the month long wait. Yeah. When we heard this, I think like in my brain, I said, what on earth? That's my first call.
If the day I'm hired, I'm texting him. The day I'm hired.
I get there's a lot of stuff. You have to move from Washington State. Here, I get it. It might not be. And when we were talking to the person, they're like, even if it's within the week.
Yeah.
A week, a month to not talk to the only quarterback you have in the next 2 years that's coming here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't have a 25.
And a blue chip. Like he's a 4-star.
Is Jet New a 25?
Or I guess, yeah. But
he was already...
He's 3-star. He's going to OSU.
Yeah.
So I'm not... Yeah, whatever. But to not call Jaden O'Neal when you see his willingness to move across the country to Mustang... Yeah. If you don't know where Mustang is, what Mustang is, go look it up. There is nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like the rest of Oklahoma, but worse.
Yeah.
They have a big water tower and it says Mustang on it, and that's about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the sacrifice that you have to make in how much you should want to be at a school, that should be all you need to know.
Yeah.
He could have very well stayed in California, balled out, and just been like, all right, let's roll.
Yeah.
But no, I want to move here because I want to be at games. I want to interact with the coaches more. And the OC/QB coach doesn't have the decency to call you.
And you say like, okay, it should be your call on the first day.
Yeah.
To me, my thought process after we've talked about the whole scenario already is like, to me, it looks like when Ben Arbuckle got here, his first mindset is, I got to call Bo Bentley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what made it take a month to reach out to Jaden O'Neal. And what's interesting is, by the time you get the first call, Ben Arbuckle's already decided they're pursuing Bo Bentley.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've already decided that. So in that month, while Ben Arbuckle was OC of Oklahoma and not giving calls to his next quarterback, he's out here pursuing Bo Bentley.
Yeah.
Which again screams personal ties. Personal ties. Like that screams, this is my guy, and Jaden O'Neal is OU's guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for my guy because I'm the OC here.
Because
That's
Bo
what it
Bentley
screams.
doesn't even have an offer to OU till January 24th.
That's crazy.
A month after, golly, 2 months after, really, an official offer.
Almost too much after.
That means, and not saying that Seth Luttrell or any of these people were the best or whatever, they were looking for the best talent, but that means OU wasn't, like, he wasn't even on OU's radar.
No, not at all.
Like,
Yeah.
and Jaden O'Neal committed what? Last summer,
I mean,
maybe?
it had
It's
to
been
It had to have been.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
He's been committed. It's got to
Yeah.
be coming up on a
August,
year.
maybe. I don't know.
It's got to be. So, like, for you to, I have this guy, but let me go see if I can finesse this other guy who doesn't, being that bought in, that would sell me like that. Like, oh, this guy's bought into this program.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it work.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to what I wouldn't talk about that we talked about on the Daily Pod a few
Yeah.
days ago, which is when he gets recruits, he has this like marriage ceremony.
Yeah,
what
the
do you,
chip. It's
what
the
would you
chip.
even call it? It's like,
like
a
a token. They give you a token.
It's a token.
Like
But
a
it's like a
token.
I would say it's a pledge. Like
Yeah.
you take a pledge, like I'm fully committed to the University
Yeah.
of Oklahoma.
It's like a legit
Yeah.
like physical token. He hands it to him, and he relates it to a wedding ring, saying like this is like your
married,
token
yeah.
of commitment. Like you are with OU, you're within our family. We're all
Yeah.
in on each other.
And our source said Jaden O'Neal got that speech, right?
Jaden O'Neal got that speech.
Yeah.
So Jaden O'Neal gets that speech. And BV has this policy where if you are committed to OU, if you have this speech, you don't go anywhere else. You're all in with us. This is what we do. This is like a marriage, essentially. But now you're seeing a situation where BV is looking at other players. So it seems hypocritical is if you're going to commit and sign a guy and say he can't go look anywhere else, and now your coaches are exploring other options, that's not good. And let me clarify here. I think BV's doing the right thing. I don't think BV wants Jaden O'Neal gone. In fact, I think BV's doing everything he can within his time capacity to keep Jaden here. But it's more so Ben Arbuckle that is the problem. So, I mean, you got to look at what BV's doing. He's dealing with managing a whole football team, running the defense, talking with recruits, not to mention personally, his wife is battling cancer. Like, are you kidding me? Like, BV has the busiest plate of probably anybody, and he's trying to keep Jaden O'Neal, and Ben Arbuckle was kind of just going all over the place. You have this marriage ceremony, BV's all in on Jaden, Jaden's all in on BV, and now Ben Arbuckle gets here and he's like, all right, I'm going to change everything, I'm going to get my guys, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
It just seems like a little, and I think BV is, it's really not BV in the wrong here. I think it really has been Arbuckle.
Mm-hmm. One thing, the way when we spoke with our source close to Jaden, it was like they framed it like, you know, Jaden is all in on OU.
Yeah.
Ben Arbuckle is not necessarily an OU guy.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily, I mean, Ben Arbuckle is not an OU program guy. And you can see it with all these guys that he's brought in, like his guys, right? John Mateer and Bo Bentley being his guys. But yeah, it's like, I think that's what is interfering with this marriage process is like, yeah, you have a marriage between Jaden O'Neal and OU in their, you know, in their committing pledge sense. But now you're bringing in a guy, a coach on one side of the marriage that's not even an OU guy.
Yeah.
He's not even necessarily in this commitment. So it's just gotten really messy because of that.
And people, when we talked about it in our short pod, oh, so you can't recruit two quarterbacks? You can't. What's wrong with having two quarterbacks come in? And I said, that's not what anybody's saying.
Yeah.
That's not what Jaden's saying. I honestly think Jaden would be like, hey, let's roll. Let's do it.
I think Jaden would almost encourage it so he can beat him out.
But when you look beyond that, it's the fact of how this second quarterback is appearing. Jaden O'Neal's been committed, hasn't been any other quarterback in the mix. And then just like this random Bo Bentley decides to appear all of a sudden, who they've had all these interactions that have gone Jaden's way most of the time, but no, we're still going to keep pursuing him. And I don't know. I just feel like what's going to happen is that Bo Bentley, he's not coming. And by the time that we're going to ruin this relationship with Jaden O'Neal so bad.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't even blame him if on signing day, yeah, I'm okay. Hope you guys have the best of luck. And now what? Who
Now
do we
we
got?
have nobody.
Who do we got? Who's suiting up?
Yeah.
Ben Arbuckle, I hope you got a couple years left because buddy put on the pads. Because that's what's going to happen.
Well, I think what needs to happen here is like Ben Arbuckle needs to confront the situation and stop avoiding it.
You're
because
a grown man.
Because like Ben, like if we're being honest here, if you don't get Bo Bentley and you don't get Jaden O'Neal, who are you going to get? We don't have a QB for the class of 26. So you're putting all your chips on getting Bo Bentley when you have a 4-star already committed to your school. The best thing he could possibly do right now, in my opinion, would be go to Jaden O'Neal and apologize.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm sorry for what I've been doing. I've got lost in my head. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have not texted you. I shouldn't have the first phone call we have just tell you I'm pursuing another guy. I should have been better in my communication, and I want to make things better. Mm-hmm. I think if he says that, and then he says that and just be like, look, we are exploring Bo Bentley. That's a quarterback we're looking at. But I want you to know that it's going to be a fair competition. Just because I want Bo Bentley doesn't mean that when we get here that it's just going to be the Bo Bentley show. It's going to be a fair competition. I think that would amend things completely but that's not happening.
It's not the fact that we're pursuing 2 quarterbacks that it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's the fact that one quarterback committed fully. You can't tell me Jaden O'Neal is not a committed quarterback. He moved across the country for it, right? It's the fact that one quarterback committed fully, and then behind the scenes in the dark, you worked to get another quarterback and didn't fill him in for a whole month.
Yeah.
And even since that month that you filled him in, you've been leaving him out. You haven't invited him to practice until he says he's going somewhere else, right? Until he says he's going to Florida State. You don't invite him to Future Freaks, where you do invite the other quarterback. It's like, at this point, you're not just recruiting 2 quarterbacks. You're leaving one quarterback in the dark, and you're getting somebody. You're going for somebody else.
Yes.
You're blindsiding somebody.
Yeah.
And to me, here's my thing. It seems like Ben Arbuckle is trying to keep Jaden O'Neal from thinking that, like, I need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also convince Bo Bentley to stay. And his mindset to do that is don't talk to him.
Yep.
Just leave him in the dark to where he doesn't know these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is, like, it's just untruthful. It's you're essentially lying to a quarterback. And what's really crazy is, like, Jaden O'Neal is 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Get him into practice. Get him into the facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember David Stone. He's from
Del City.
He's from Del City.
Mm-hmm.
He was hanging out here all the time with Bates.
Yeah.
There was pictures of him I'm in Bates' office right now, ha ha ha, at his desk. There was pictures of him in the indoor getting released from the media, like all these things. And that was happening before signing day, like way before signing day. That's how Jaden O'Neal should be. Because that's how you build a culture. That's how you build a connection with the players early. Yeah. And I guarantee you that's what Brent Venables wants. Yeah. It's what Brent Venables wants out of David Stone, all of his other recruits. Yeah. So to me, it's just a massive red flag that he's not all over the facilities all the time. Because that's the way Brent Venables likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the way Jaden O'Neal wants it. Yeah. Obviously, he moved here. So there's your big red flag. Like, you got to commit that's not even able to be at the facilities 24/7 like some of these other guys. Yeah. It just seems like he's being left in the dark.
Yeah. Well, then you add in the fact that people will be like, oh, well, Jaden O'Neal is going to look at other schools. I wonder why. If I was committed to another program, I move halfway across the country, my OC doesn't talk to me for a month, he says he's actively pursuing another quarterback. Clearly, Bo Bentley is the apple of Ben Arbuckle's eye. And do you really think that if Bo Bentley and Jaden O'Neal, Bo Bentley and Jaden O'Neal came here to OU, that he would give Jaden a fair chance? No shot. So if I'm Jaden, I am, of course, taking all the visits I possibly can, because clearly this OU guy doesn't want me. And I know that if he gets Bo Bentley, then he's going to take him over me any day. But if he doesn't want Bentley, then what, I'm his backup now? I'm his backup plan? Nah. And if I'm Jaden, I'm going somewhere that wants me. I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Florida State. I'm going somewhere else that actually appreciates me as an athlete, not somewhere that's going to be a backup plan. After I've already had this marriage talk and I've moved halfway across the country, it's a really bad look for OU. It's a really, really, really bad look. And the thing is like, I'm sorry. The thing is like, if you want to pursue a better quarterback in Bo Bentley, which I personally don't think he is, but if you wanted to, that's okay. But the way you're handling Jaden O'Neal is atrocious. And it's honestly incredibly disrespectful. After how much he sacrificed to come here, to come to OU, to move, and the way you're treating him is just a really bad look for OU. And to be honest, it's scary because you don't think Jaden O'Neal knows other OU recruits? Other people that are talking to OU? What's he going to say about OU? Yeah, I moved halfway across the country. I committed here. I had a wedding with the coaches, and they left me in the dark for a month and now pursue another quarterback and would never give me a fair chance if I could. What does that speak about our recruiting in the future? It's just not a good look.
Go look at Jaden O'Neal's Twitter. Every time there's OU commit, yes sir, boomer baby,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy that's eagerly wanting as many blue chips as he can get to come to this school because he knows that in 2026 the show is about to start. Like
Yeah.
if as many weapons as I can get, we can turn this thing up.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're not going to sit here, or at least I'm not. Ben Arbuckle, I'm excited. I'm still excited because the OU fan in me is excited, and I've seen what Ben Arbuckle's offense can do. And this year, this will have no implications. Neither of them will be on campus this year, so it doesn't matter for the production this year. And I still want Ben Arbuckle's offense to succeed.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the number one thing I love about BV is like the character stuff.
Yes.
And this is going on. I don't blame BV, but I think he's letting it happen. He knows what's happening. It's
true.
He can't sit here and tell me that BV's oblivious to how Ben Arbuckle's treating him. So that's your employee pretty much. Like, you can go tell him, hey, lock in.
Yeah.
If you want to go after Bo, cool, gotcha. But you for sure better be talking to the kid that lives 40 minutes away and making sure that he's still bought in.
Yeah.
Or if not, I'll do you one better. Tell Jaden O'Neal straight up, hey, I think we're going to go after Bo. He's committed. He hasn't signed a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I think they'd rather honestly have his offer pulled.
Yeah.
And say, I would suggest you go somewhere else because I've got this guy. Hey, end of story.
Well, that's the right thing to do.
And they won't do that because Bo Bentley's not locked down.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so they're playing their own game. They're playing their personal gain instead of being honest and truthful. It's unfortunate. And, going back to what you were saying about Jaden O'Neal blowing up other guys' posts, other recruits' posts, that's so true. He reminds me of David Stone, where David Stone was David Stone was like a 5-star plus. Literally nobody was worried if he was going to sign or not on signing day. Nobody was.
There's no hat switches.
Oh, nothing. David Stone was OU thick and thin.
Yeah.
Was trying to recruit other guys to OU for his own personal success when he got to OU. Jaden O'Neal is so similar. He's an ultra commit.
Yeah.
He is basically signed. He moved to Mustang, right? He has shown the most commitment you can show before signing day. And it's a shame that because your OC comes in.
This is his reward for all that work. Yeah.
Just because an OC comes in with a different preference or with different personal ties, that he's going to get treated this way.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate to see that happen at OU.
Yeah.
Where it's my team. It's my team. I don't want that to happen to my team.
Yeah.
And it's, the past 3 years, we haven't seen that here. We've seen a lot of OU guys be OU guys and a lot of commitment. And Brent Venables has been truthful and honest with these recruits. And, parents come in and say, oh, I knew the second I walked the door, this is the place we want to be. After I met Coach Venables, I knew this is the place we want to be. But now, we're hearing that Jaden O'Neal's family's upset.
Yeah.
And it's like, man. And it's months after Ben Arbuckle gets in, you got an upset recruit. And it's like, just goes to show you, Ben Arbuckle's great OC, but may not be an OU guy, an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah.
May not be a Brent Venables type when it comes to recruiting. So, and that's just how it is.
The cool guy is a little too cool. He's one of those guys. He reminds me of so many of those young, just based off of what, obviously I've never met the guy, so I can't say, but like that. It's like the cool coach, that teaches history class, and bro, you can get on your phone, bro. You're good. Don't even worry, bro. We're just gonna watch this video. You're good though. And he's trying to, hey, what's that new thing y'all doing? Is it this right here? Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
I get that you're 29. I get it. You're still young. Trust, because when I'm 29, I'm gonna be trying to keep hey, what up, brother? Whatever. But you're the OC at the University of Oklahoma. It's a big boy job.
Yeah.
Big boy job. So your mind has to do big boy things. You have to do big boy things. Yeah. And right now, the big boy thing you got to do is clean this up, because you made the mess. what is the saying? You made your bed, now you got to sleep in it.
You gotta sleep in it. You made this bed, you gotta sleep in it for sure.
We should make an acronym out of that.
Maybe anyone. Nah, K1.
Never mind.
No, it's all right.
But yeah, so basically that's the situation with the whole Jaden O'Neal, Bo Bentley thing. Is Jaden O'Neal is getting treated very poorly from OU in general. I would say mostly Ben Arbuckle. BV, Bates, and Emma Jones are actively communicating with him to try to really just amend it or keep it glued together. But to be honest, if I just don't see a situation where if Bo Bentley signs with OU, Jaden is going to stay here. And that is not because Jaden is afraid of competition. It's purely because of the fact that when he steps foot on campus, he will not have a fair chance at quarterback.
There won't be a competition.
There won't be a competition. And that's not fair for Jaden. So OU needs to get things right. They need to fix things. Ben Arbuckle needs to fix things. Jaden's a great player. And the fact that we are even in this situation, I think says quite a bit about the character of maybe our new hire at OC. And I think he's going to be a great coach, and I'm really excited about him. Let me clarify, I'm really excited about him.
Yeah.
But the fact that we are in a situation where Jaden is being left in the dark, these things are happening, and Ben Arbuckle really just doesn't seem to care is really strange. And that kind of rubs me the wrong way in terms of being an OU guy, because OU guys don't do that. Our program's not like that. So we absolutely, I want Ben Arbuckle to succeed. I want to get the best quarterback for OU. I want us to do really good because I'm an OU fan. But when you see situations like this, they need to be talked about, because it's not just sunshine and rainbows. We're not just, we're just getting another quarterback. No, you need to realize, we are shafting our other 4-star and putting him in the dark and essentially stating, if we don't get Bo Bentley, we'll settle for you. That's what we're doing here, and that's not okay. That's not, as an OU fan, you should not be happy about that, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we're gonna see how it unfolds. I mean, we don't know how it'll unfold. Bo Bentley's got official visits all the way out in June. Jaden O'Neal's obviously in Florida State this weekend. So
he's got a few more coming up,
and he's got more coming up. Yep. So it's gonna be a mess. If I was an OU fan, I wouldn't be thinking, I'm an OU fan, but if I was you guys, I wouldn't be thinking that, I wouldn't be thinking that we got 2 quarterbacks secured.
I would be extremely worried.
Sure. I'd be thinking we have 0 right now.
Because I am.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I have no desire to have Bo Bentley here. Golly.
Yeah.
I have watched a little bit of Bo Bentley in the past couple of days after this happened. I don't want him here. I don't, golly.
And it's for multiple, and earlier I said, you know how bad you have to be. Bo Bentley's not bad. I know he's not bad, obviously.
But,
he's got crazy looks, better than I could ever be. Understand that.
Yeah.
But seeing what Jaden has done already, that already sold me. And then I go look, and he's 6'3", 215, and he has a
grown man.
He has a rocket on his arm, on his shoulder, a rocket. So to me, I'm taking that guy that's willing to, move across the country, brand new school, leave friends, whatever, just so he can be closer to the school rather than Mr. Bentley, who, he's got a couple more.
Literally, on a football level. Yes. If there's nothing about this, just football.
If I watch,
I'm taking Jaden O'Neal every day. Yeah. He's more physical. He's got a better arm, and people think that he can't run. He can run.
Yeah.
It's I don't. Yeah. Man, that makes me mad. Just thinking about taking the less physical, less talented quarterback just makes me mad as an OU fan, because I want guys like Baker and Jalen who are just strong, good size, with a rocket on their arm.
And who love OU. Guys who are committed to OU.
That's facts. Man, it makes me mad.
It's just a really bad situation. Mm-hmm. So, Sooner fans, that's the truth. There is nothing here that has been fabricated. That is directly what we have been told from direct sources close to Jaden O'Neal. So, take it as you will, but that's kind of the state of OU right now, and it needs to be announced publicly.
Yeah.